Welcome everyone to Unicorn Light Tarot. Thank you for being here, whether you are brand new or whether you are returning. Welcome. We have an epic week coming up. We have the summer solstice on the 21st, which is coming in this Monday, and then Mercury goes direct, which will be happening on the 22nd, which is Tuesday of next week. Yay! So that's going to be happening. And then we have the supermoon, or the last supermoon of this year, the strawberry moon, which is coming in June 24th on Thursday. So we have the solstice, we have Mercury going direct, and then we have this beautiful full moon coming in on Thursday. It's going to be an amazing week. Let's go ahead and get into your readings and see how it will affect or how you'll work with this energy. Okay, let's go. Okay, unicorn loves, here we come for our upcoming week, which will be Monday the 21st and go on to the 27th, which is the Sunday, the full 7 days coming up, your full week ahead. And as we said, lots going on in that week. I want to briefly introduce to you our gorgeous goddess that we will be working with and channeling with today. One of my favorites, Irish goddess called Áine. She is the Irish goddess of fertility and abundance, wealth, love, protection, and sovereignty. Can't go wrong there. And she has moon and sun aspects. As the moon goddess, she protects livestock, cattle, and crops. And as the sun goddess, she takes the form of a red mare to walk amongst everyone. Although no one would be ever able to outrun her, she is the fastest. She is also known as the fairy queen or the love goddess, and she has also been known as the lady of the lake. So she's also taken on that persona. She's also, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure this is correct, she's associated with County Limerick in Ireland. So we will be working with Áine today. And of course, in honor of Áine, we're going all fairy with the fairy art. Well, it's fairy tarot. We've got our fairy dust cards, and of course had to use the wisdom of the Avalon cards too. And we're keeping everything fertility and summery with the summer solstice. And for everyone who knows, who's been with me before, who's had a reading before, you always know that we have a magic candle that we have with our readings. It's always dressed with magic oil, so you can use that for activation and healing also. So pile 1, we have our beautiful butterfly. For pile 2, we have our fertility, we have our egg. And for pile 3, we are coming into Cancer season now for the summer, so we have our beautiful moonstone. As always, take as much time as you need. The more aligned you are with your own soul and energy, the more these readings will resonate with you. So if you need to go ahead and pause the video, go ahead and do that. The timestamps would be down below, as absolutely always. So we can just take a nice deep breath in and hold for a second, letting go of anything that doesn't serve us, at least for the next 10-15 minutes while we read your pile. Let's go ahead and get right into these readings with our beautiful Áine here. And moving this aside, pile 1 and pile 2 for now. So if you chose pile 3, we are getting into an energy update reading for the 21st through to the 27th. As we said in the intro, so much happening. So if you chose the butterfly, let's get right into your reading. We're going to start with, let's see, we've got the Fairy Tarot, and of course, we've got the Wisdom of Avalon cards, and then we'll get right into these. And we've got a myriad of different cards on the side here. We'll get you some more information. So what to expect for this week coming up. So we have the Two of Autumn and the Princess of Spring. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, so we've got the Princess of Spring. What does it say here? Time to go after your dreams. Do something that expands your horizons. Let your creativity take flight. So you've got the Wands energy here, lots of passion and beauty. And then you've got the Two of Autumn. You've got Pentacles here. Bring fun into everything you do, juggling multiple priorities or jobs, and exceptional talent for multitasking. Wonderful. And then we have, ooh, the Queen, woman, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, and friendship. And we have the number 4 here. So pile 1, this is going to be a full-on week for you. Feels as though it's been working towards this week where there's been a lot of ideas and the movement needed to activate these ideas will be coming in this week, full of passion, moving forward. But most importantly, pile 1, you'll be moving forward with authority, with confidence, with a surety, which is absolutely wonderful. You've got that divine feminine power, but to be the queen, one knows that there's a dividing line here where you come in with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So the energy around you is very common. It's very beautiful. It's very balanced. So going into this week, it's this commonology energy of moving forward and knowing who you are and having that balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine. It feels as though you've been working with yourself and knowing exactly what it is that you want, but it's not really been quite the right energy to implement this. You've been waiting, but in that time you've been waiting, it's not been down in many ways. You've not been kept down. You've been working where you can, figuring out how to move forward, sort of like a busy bee kind of energy. And even if this way isn't moving forward for you because the energies aren't pulling you in that direction yet, you've been doing this, almost like getting your ducks in a row. Now you're ready to move forward. So you've got this Princess of Spring, you've got this Wands energy coming in. And also the most important thing for you that you've been working on is that occasionally a little bit of real talk, pile 1. You can be your own worst enemy. We all can, but moving forward, it's that 2 steps forward, and then when you start feeling some kind of excitement, there's a part of you, some of you, start to talk yourself out of it, almost to dumb it down, so you're not disappointed, or just to keep yourself level-headed. Well, that won't be working for you anymore, and this is something that you've been working on, where you go full-fledged and you're absolutely completely energetic and optimistic about what you do. And for those of you who are usually very optimistic and moving forward, this was just a method for you in the last couple of weeks to hone in on your energy and to make sure that energy stays. Either way, whether you move forward and then you sort of talk yourself out of great things happening, or you move forward and you find there's less of an impetus to move forward. There's something that's happening sort of seemingly blocking you, and you think that it's coming from the external. That won't be happening because you've really aligned with your energy recently, and you've decided that you absolutely know who you are and what you want to achieve. And this came up in a reading very recently. I couldn't tell you in which reading, but it was very much with 2 feet planted in this world and being very, very clear that you want to live this life and you want to do this. A lot of us have had 1 foot out into the other world and 1 foot in this world. And even in the spiritual community, we see a lot of this, ascension, this, that, and the other. It'll happen if it happens. And of course, we want to move forward spiritually. And of course, that's the way that we're going to do it. But this whole enlightenment thing has gotten people in the upper chakras and not grounded very much in the lower chakras. And even when they do have a spiritual breakthrough, what they call enlightenment, you can go off track so easily when you're not grounded into your own energy. And this is something that you figured out for yourself. You didn't want to go in that way anymore. So taking your both feet and planting them very firmly in this world and say, we are here for a human experience. Yes, of course, we're in this meat suit, and we are beautiful spiritual beings. No one's gonna say any different to that. But we are spiritual beings in a meat suit, having this very, very beautiful, human, messy, gorgeous, deep experience. And the 5D, 3D, whatever. We're here to do this, and we're here to be the best people that we can be, we hope, and adhere to our blueprint and all of the gifts that we have to integrate them into this world, and come in and really find this sort of deep level of love and existence and integration and connection. And you have recently, in your own terms, in your own way, on your own terms, because you only ever do it that way, you have decided in some way that you are here and you're going to do this. And this determination is coming out in this week. And there's an immense balance that's coming. And we've already talked about the divine masculine, the divine feminine coming in. Now, that's not a small thing, because sometimes you've moved forward really quickly with the action, action, action. You've got the divine masculine, but the divine feminine, the tweakiness, the beautiful, the nuances of the divine feminine wasn't necessarily there. You could have been out of sync before, but coming, and it's not that you're not in touch with the divine feminine. You are, absolutely. In fact, most of you are so in touch with the divine feminine, again, real talk, you might take it a little bit for granted because it's so very much embedded in you. It's something that you've had for many, many past lifetimes, that in this lifetime, not all of you necessarily take it for granted that you have it necessarily. But it's like, you don't necessarily, when somebody comes across something and it's sort of brand new, you work with it differently because you're so embedded in the divine feminine. You've come here to protect the divine feminine. You're sort of from the inside out. You understand the divine feminine. It's almost like for some of you, you've taken it a little bit for granted. So you don't always work with the divine feminine as well as you could in the past. You're extremely magnetic. You have the charm. You definitely have the instances. You have that sensitivity. You have that intuition. You absolutely have it. But sometimes you take it for granted because for many of you, you're here to really work with the divine masculine and then bring those back into center for both of them. So that's what you've been doing, but you have this beautiful balance moving forward. So this balance is going to come in a very practical way too. You're going to be working very practically this week, but also bringing in that practicality, but also having that whimsy with it. That's what you've been working. You either are very practical, so you get very level-headed about things, and nothing wrong with that. But then the intuition goes a little haywire, or you get too much in your head, and you're really into intuition, and then there isn't enough action moving forward. So here you have this complete sort of 50-50 motion going on this week, which is absolutely wonderful. And after the summer solstice, which starts the beginning of the week, we've got this coming in on the Monday. You're going to have this incredible sort of balanced attitude of having that, like, you have that real practical sense, and there's nothing wrong with your passion moving forward. It's just sometimes in the past it's not taken off the way that you've wanted. But now that intuition of how to move forward, when to move forward, and with whom. This is coming in this week. So something's going to move forward for you this week. And this is it. You've been at the starter line. Boom, boom, boom. So for most of you who are resonating with this reading already, you already know what it is. It's either integrating something that you already have. And of course, this is a general reading, so it'll read differently for each and every one of you. But you'll want to move forward with something. Now, it could be going back to finishing off something that you have, creative project, but you've got some more life to it. It's that you've got new life coming into what you're doing moving forward. For some of you, it might be physically moving. And again, this is a time for change, doing a new course, something that you're doing, something that's starting next week, or something that you've decided that you definitely want to do, you're going to be signing up for next week. For some of you, it's just simply a mind shift where you're like, I know I'm doing this. I'm ready to do it. Let's do it. But this extreme balance coming in, which is kind of an oxymoron there, right? But this balance coming in really, really does assure you moving forward in a very specific way that guarantees these beautiful results. You've done the work here. Let's see what else we have for you. with these cards. And of course you have the confidence of a queen, which is absolutely wonderful. You're also very clear on who and why you want into your life. It feels like for a lot of you, you've been systematically moving things out of your life that no longer work. So this newfound energy is because you feel physically lighter, and that's not a small thing. You've really been figuring out your worth and how to work with that in practical levels. There's a real practicality to you, Pile 1, that's just fascinating. And once that is melded in with the fairy-like energy and the elemental energy and getting lighter and getting back into nature, and remembering that you're part of nature, that's when you can reach these beautiful new heights. That will start this week. Let's see what these Moonology cards have for you. Bring love into the situation and surrender to the divine. We have the full moon here. And of course, the full moon is coming in. I think it'll be visible the night before, which will be Wednesday. And then it's coming in on Thursday, I believe, the 24th. So yeah, bringing love into the situation and surrendering to the divine. This is part of knowing who you are, when to back off, and how to work with the universe. There was an essence of control versus alignment with you before, and this is something that you've known. You've been working with the understanding of when control, when alignment sort of meshes or melds into control just a little bit. And also for some of you who are feeling as though, you know, mixing up this idea of being lost versus I'm just open to what happens, because you're so used to having, you know, I'm doing this and then I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this. You know, a lot of you aren't feeling that way anymore. You're feeling like, I have a general direction. I know who I am. I know what I want to achieve. I don't know the little steps, the baby steps yet. So I might be feeling a little lost, or feeling as though I'm not as prepared as I used to be. This is wonderful. Trust us. This is absolutely wonderful. You're just working in a different way. You do have a lot more grounding and a lot more assurance than you think you do. You do know your gifts. You do know you're worthy. You do know you're ready. Your energy is perfectly aligned with the divine masculine and feminine. You feel the divine timing coming in. So you know it's time to do. You know it's time to go. You know it's time to move forward. So surrendering to the divine, and not knowing exactly how that's going to look and exactly what the little steps are going to, the baby steps are going to look like, that's totally fine, because bringing love into the situation, knowing that you're beautiful, you're worth helping, knowing that you are worthy, you've got that self-acceptance moving forward, the universe is going to step up and move you forward. Remember, when you've done these movements forward before, they've worked in a certain way, but they've never really paid off the way that you've wanted to before, because there was an essence of control there. There wasn't enough room for the universe to come in. But this is working completely differently for you. So this is a very exciting way. So don't get lost in your mind thinking, oh my goodness, I'm lost. I don't feel as prepared. I don't know where I'm going. Remember, enjoy the journey. It's going to be beautiful. The journey is going to be beautiful. And this is the way it should work. Insofar as surrendering to the divine, you do have, if you can see, like you're on shore and you're trying to get somewhere else, but on shore, you know exactly what's going on that shore. You know, the shore is safe. You've got everything sorted. You're just moving somewhere else. You've got your 2 feet planted on the ground. You know who you are. You know you're deserving of everything that you've asked for. And you know, for the most part, you know a lot more than you give yourself credit for, insofar as you've been working on many different projects one way or another throughout the years. You've been planting seeds to grow. So it's not like you've been plopped down. You know, you've done all this work, you've been plopped down, you're like, now what? You're not completely lost. So for those of you who are feeling a little bit confused because the way forward looks so different to how it ever did before, don't you worry. This will happen a lot quicker than you think, moving forward in the way, with the results that you were expecting before and didn't quite get before. So stay where you are. Remember to work with the divine. Remember to work with your beautiful angels who are working with you and absolutely are there there to support you in every level. You are doing this completely and totally the right way. There's not really a right and wrong way to do it, but there's a less frustrating way to do it. And that's the way that you're doing it this week, a less frustrating way. Now, we know that after Mercury in retrograde turns direct, now it does take, a week to 10 days. She's sort of coughing and spluttering to get back on track. So she's fully where she was before energy-wise. But there is a significant shift in energy as she moves forward. So on the Tuesday and Wednesday, you'll definitely be finding a lot more paths being open to you, a lot more opportunities coming to you without you really having to do much. This is a real week for you to learn to really drive home the lesson that when you get all your ducks in a row, when you get all the spiritual stuff done, I don't like that word, but for, clarity's sake, when you do the inner work, which you've been doing, things pay off in magical ways that you could not have predicted in any way, shape, or form. And you're going to get the results. You're going to see the magic of that this week in a way that you've never done before. You've done it in little pieces before, but this is going to be a beautiful week for you. So hold on there. And you know what? Let's see what we have here. So this is not going to be a small week for you. And this is a way for you to exercise your power too. Not over anyone or anything like that. You wouldn't do that anyway. But, again, just staying where you are and honing in and seeing what happens in and around you. Because, of course, your energy is the one that's pulling in more energy from in and around you. You can always gauge where your energy is. If you're pulling in fear and stuff in and around you, that's what you're holding in your heart. So you have this complete power and magnetism that's coming in and around you this week. You're going to be pulling in people who have that too, and people who have power and magnetism. So it's going to be an exciting week for you. And it's not that you're not it's not that you're not being active. You're being extremely active and moving forward. It's just the way in which you do it is slightly different now. And you're going to see the results of that this week. So let's see what happens here. What else we have for you? Music, beautiful, and manifestation. This is definitely a week of manifestation. We've got the 8 there, which is the infinity symbol too on its side. Extra note of magnetism and magic coming in. Definitely a week of manifestation. Again, you've been leading up to this for many of you. You've been working on the sidelines. You've been figuring out what you really want. You've been taking away or releasing what no longer serves you. You're absolutely ready for this. The music is a reminder to lighten up, enjoy the week. Sometimes you can get very much in your head, pile one, and drive yourself a little bit crazy with all the details. Now, we're not saying don't take care of the details. There's no way with your personality type that you wouldn't. You've got that practical mind. Everything gets taken care of. But we're reminding you to lighten up, to enjoy the journey. That's something that you don't always do. Sometimes you've been living for the payoff. And then, when the payoff is in sight, you get that excitement. Live for the journey. You're being asked in many ways to slow down this week, which again is a very strange thing to ask you to do because so much will be coming towards you this week too. When we have the full moon coming in, this is a good time. The Thursday, the 24th, we have this gorgeous super full moon. It's a strawberry moon, really. Not everybody's calling it a super moon for the last one of the year. Some people are. But it's a very, very powerful moon in the sign of Capricorn. So this is the time for you to solidify again what it is that you want. And again, let it go. To a certain degree. You're going to be working in and around pulling in what you want, but this is a time for you to work with this full moon energy and create a little extra magic for yourself coming in for the weekend. But I've no doubt whatsoever this week will bring you in some kind of opportunity that you've been putting out there. But it's really a time for you to play with your magic and play with your power, getting everything aligned from the insular, from the interior, and see how that affects the outer exterior world. This is for you to put your energy into effect and see how much you can achieve seemingly effortlessly, but it really isn't effortless. You know, people who attract things and have this lucky life seemingly on the outside, they've done the work inside. They absolutely know who they are. They're working with the divine. They have this release sensibility. We'll see what happens. They're not in control. I mean, they are to a certain extent, but they're not trying to control everything. They're in alignment. This is where you will be, and it's just the best place to be for you. You know, there's a lot of muscle tension for some of you too. A lot of muscles just sort of relaxing. Your whole system inside and out is relaxing and saying, all right, we're going to do this now. Again, do not feel lost, even though this is a new way of working for you. And if you do try and bring in the old ways of working, the alignment might, you know, cruise into control there and take you back into other ways that you used to do it, which didn't have the best results. So you don't have to worry about that, because the minute you start going that way, your stomach will start clenching up as it usually does. And you're, oh no, we're not going to do this anymore. So just in the release. This is not a passive week. This is not a passive way to live your life. It really isn't. This is a magical, beautiful way. Again, ground into 2 feet into this world, commitment into this world, commitment into your own magic, commitment into your own beauty, commitment into your own confidence there. And let's see what we have for your final thing here for a little fairy dust magic. And remember to enlighten up. Use music to enlighten you, to take that energy next step, next level. For those of you who feeling a little confused, or you know, that tension, that energy sometimes to move forward, because you always like to move forward. If it's not moving forward quick enough, sometimes you want to push it. So remember to use the music to lighten up, to get you back into your energy, back into that faith, that promise that you made to yourself that you would achieve everything in this lifetime that's in your blueprint. Don't you worry. Enjoy that journey. So let's see what we have for you. Sunrise. Every sunrise sings a song. Don't worry, be happy, just sing along. Again, coming back to the music. Do not worry. Energy coming in. Catch a sunrise if you can. But remember, you've got everything that you need to move along. This is like, you know, keep it light this week. Keep your energy in alliance with the universe through music and song and voice. Let's do one more for this too. And remember, enjoy the journey. That will be your mantra. This literally came out. 4-leaf clovers. You have found a 4-leaf clover. Unlucky times will soon be over. That's what we said. That goes with your manifestation card. This is definitely a way, a movement forward for you that is brand new in many essence of the word, and you're ready to do this. So have faith in your future. Have faith that all this beautiful stuff, these beautiful people are coming in, including new loves on the horizon. Stay whimsical this week. Enjoy the full moon. As soon as Mercury moves direct, you don't even have to wait the 10-day period or whatever to move forward with things. You will feel the difference in the energy. It's definitely a movement forward week for you too. Enjoy the summer solstice at the beginning of the week. Celebrate you. Celebrate brightness this week. And remember, keep it whimsical. We have the elemental energy coming in, so you can work with fairies and elementals. That would be wonderful for you. Don't forget your inner child this week. Let them have the reign, and moving forward, they will definitely connect you to your inner source and keep you grounded, but also keep you in this fantastical mode that we want you to be in. So this is your reading for the week coming up. We want to go ahead and thank you to our beautiful goddess Áine today for guiding us and channeling these messages. Have a wonderful week. Go be you. Enjoy your magic with this very, very powerful week coming up, beginning of Cancer season 2. So until we meet again, Pile 1, you stay safe and sane now. Bye-bye. All right, lovelies, if you chose pile 2 and you chose the fertility egg, fertility can mean anything, of course, new projects, etc., then this is your energy reading for the week of the 21st to the 27th. And of course, we have a myriad of different things going on, and we are channeling the goddess Áine today. So let's get right into your reading. We've got some fairy tarot cards, and we have the wisdom of Avalon too. So let's see what your week holds. Wonderful. Seven of summer, Seven of Cups. No more procrastination. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. Okay, you've got that beautiful fairy there. And then you have the Queen of Winter here. So let's see what we have. Queen of Winter. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career, unmarried or divorced individuals. Okay, so we have the, let's see. Swords is, we've got summer, full swords, autumn, fall. So swords is winter here coming in. So this is very much about you understanding your own energy and moving forward. Very similar to pile one, but sort of different energy. And then we have the cow here. Nourishment, abundance, asking and receiving. Okay, so this is about you energy-wise, putting down your feet and knowing where you stand and moving forward on your own terms. Again, this is you making sure, very similar energy to, very similar reasoning to pile one, but very different energy. So for you, this is you coming into your strength this week. This is you using this week as a way to sort of, you get to these heights, pile two, where you like to prove things to yourself. It's almost like you, for some of you, you almost believe it when you see it, but you like to put people through, or situations through, trials. You like to test the universe, test this out, test that out, test out the waters. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, the universe loves it. You can test the universe at any time. This will be a very significant week for you testing the universe moving forward, but it's also a movement forward for you this week also. This is you solidifying into what it is that you do want based on what it is that you don't want. And this is definitely something that you've been working to clear out, to be very patient with yourself. Pile two, this has been very difficult for you. You're not, you can be extremely patient with other people. You're not very patient with yourself. And sometimes you can get, sort of, as we say, your knickers in a twist a little bit when you put out the intention. What happens is that it can fall short because you're waiting. If it doesn't come back immediately, you're not good at necessarily just waiting for things to happen. You're very sort of action oriented. And if things aren't coming back as quickly as you think, you start to lose hope. You start to get a little bit of that doubt, and then lose a little bit of that giddy up in your step. And then it sets this doubt sort of going forward, and it becomes a little bit more of a frustrating sort of movement forward for you. But this is something that you've been working on insofar as you know that doesn't bring you the results in the past that you've wanted. So, but you want to move forward in a very specific way. You don't like being told what to do. Even if you know that people are advising you in the right way, you want to learn this and figure this all out for yourself. If somebody said to you, I'll do this for you so you can go out and do something else. No, I don't want to cheat. I don't want to do this. You're here to like experience absolutely everything. So you don't want anybody else to take on that experience for you. You want to be out learning that experience. Now for you, what you've been doing for the last couple of weeks, and it's really going to culminate in this week, and it's not a small week for you, not a passive week, is that you've been figuring out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and putting in action and solidifying what does work for you and letting go what doesn't work for you. It's sort of like sort of a spring clear out, as it were, coming in. So when you're ready for the summer, you're ready to move forward. So it's, and also sometimes you tend to feel as though you want to get all your ducks in a row before you move forward. Like you've got to get this, you've got to do that, and then we'll move forward. So the way in which you'll be moving forward this week will be slow. And but it won't be passive week. It'll be slow, but it'll be with integrity moving forward. Now, there'll be a little bit of moving with the universe, testing the waters, seeing as you get out there. You're sort of regaining your energy the way that you want it. So you'll be working with the universe in on your own terms. The most important thing this week to remember is that everything will be done on your own terms this week. So it's about putting out energy and seeing what comes back. Now, of course, we have this very powerful beginning of the week on Monday. We have this summer solstice coming in, the beginning of Cancer era. And for those of you who have a Cancer birthday, congratulations and happy birthday for that time. So it's really about you moving forward and seeing where all your ducks lie, in a way, how you do this on your own terms. So you'll be putting out your energy, and you'll be seeing sort of what you receive back, and you'll be testing the universe a little bit. What happens if I do things this way? What happens if I do things this way? This will be a week of moving forward, especially after the Mercury goes direct, which will be on the Tuesday. So from Wednesday onwards, and you're going to feel that really incredible energy of this full moon coming in Capricorn on a Thursday. You're going to feel that. Now, for you, this is a week of feeling. This is a week of you culminating, figuring out your feelings again, working with what no longer works for you, and physically saying, I'm not doing this anymore. And for you to cultivate and carve out a new path for you moving forward. And as you move forward again, as we said, you'll be testing the universe in this way and in this way. This is a week for you to stay completely open, and just rest in the knowledge that you are protected and you are moving forward in the way that you need to. Also, be very patient with this week. Some of you are at the starting line and really want to move forward, and you've been waiting. There's that energy of sort of pent up energy, sort of genie in the bottle. Let me out of the bottle. Let me see what I can do. And that's absolutely wonderful. We just want to remind you, everything that you want is completely out there. Just don't be in a rush to get it. In that rushing that you've done before, some of the details fall away, or maybe you over focus on the details. And this is about getting the results, or achieving the results, or allowing in the results that you want. Again, effortless life. Doing less for you will create more results coming in. So stay the course, stay patient. This is not a passive week, but this might seem a slow week in a way, because you're working in the interior of your soul and doing things a little bit differently. Staying patient with yourself, reaffirming those boundaries of what it is. For some of you, you've been slightly outside of yourself, or you've taken yourself a little bit out of the world. Oh, I mean, everybody has one way or another. We're getting back into it, right? But you've been doing that in the last couple of weeks. You've been seeing this as an opportunity to figure yourself out for some of you. So getting back and integrating back into the world, or back into sort of life one way or another, with everything that you've learned in the last 3 weeks. You don't need to apply absolutely everything that you've learned immediately. Just take your time this week. Really analyze sort of from the sidelines. Again, this is not a passive way of doing it, because as you move forward this week, you'll be able to see the payoffs come in, with you just holding your energy in place and knowing what it is that you want and believing you can get it. And with all this work that you've done with eradicating and releasing what no longer serves you, stand in your power. Believe in that abundance that's coming to you. The abundance is coming in. Nourish yourself. Put yourself first. Again, use those boundaries if you need to, because you're a very, very sensitive, beautiful soul. It's like this beautiful, sensitive soul is coming out into the world and starting to integrate. So take your time doing this. Build up your power, build up your strength. Let's see what else we have for you here coming in. But this is a beautiful week for you, because at the same time, you know that this is your time. You can feel it and you can sense it. And we're not messing around with you. We're definitely telling you that this is your week. It's just the way in which you're going to integrate your energy into the week to provide and seek out and attract the results that you want. So it's not like you're not going to get anything this week and it's going to be a slow week. It's more that you're going to be working with your energy in a slower way and watching how your energy works and watching what comes in as a result. It's more that using your power without having to exert yourself. In the past, you've overexerted yourself to get what you consider sort of, that's why for some of you, you've been quite disappointed sometimes, because the effort that you and the energy that you put into things, you know, when they come back, they seem to fall short. It's mainly because you're putting so much effort into everything. You're expecting this big payoff. Now, you can certainly get that, but it's not necessary to put that much effort into everything when you're aligned with your energy is aligned. So this week you'll be working differently. So you'll be getting these really powerful results with seemingly doing nothing. And for some of you, you know, with that practicality, that scientist mind, you may not even trust it initially because it's like, you know, comparing yourself to how you used to work. Well, you know, I used to put in a hell of a lot more effort and I put in very little effort and this is coming my way. I don't know if I trust it. That's fine. That's you just acclimating to how things are going to be. That's totally understandable. And you will use your intuition to see which decision and which opportunity you will take yourself on, because there will be many of them. But we can assure you that you can expect really huge results when you do the work and then just align and then see what happens versus overworking everything, which is what you used to do to get these results that, of course, you were disappointed in based on the amount of effort that you put in. Of course, it's, you know, it's not going to be enough, right? You're expecting this big payoff. So this is going to be an exciting week for you in this way. Meditate and contemplate. Yes, new moon. Conclusions are within reach. Yeah, exactly what we're saying. Not a passive week by any stretch of the imagination. Now, the full moon, there is an eclipse, some sort of eclipse on this full moon coming in too, and supposedly it's the last supermoon of 2021 too. So the conclusions are within reach. There is more information coming for you at the end of this week, coming to you at the end of this week, absolutely. And we're asking you again to meditate and contemplate the new moon coming in, bringing in new opportunities, new ways of being. This is you getting out there and sort of testing the universe and just being you. Be light, tread lightly, enjoy the week. Lots of things are going to be coming, but remember, this is a new way that you're implementing your energy. So if you start to revert back into how you used to do things before with this heavy-handed or heavy-footed plotting through everything, you know, just pull yourself back a little bit because you're going to get frustrated. It's not going to work for you that way. But again, as we said in pile 1, you get this inkling feeling in your stomach or this heart flutter, and you know that you're going down in the wrong direction. You'll be able to pull yourself back now. Whereas before, you were so gun-ho on getting those beautiful results. You would get those you would get those feelings in your stomach and your heart fluttering. But you would just move through it because it was important to achieve what you wanted to achieve. So really what's happened for you, Paul, too, is what you wanted to achieve is this certain level of peace of mind, and you're on your way to that. And that's really going to culminate, and you're gonna, and the other thing that you do is fixate too. So open all that energy up and keep that energy on. If you need to fixate on you, just being you this week. And that's where you're going to get the results instead of putting yourself or your energy on the external, pulling it back to you. Again, have the sense of humor coming in, have that lightness. You've got that beautiful integrity. Remember to give yourself some time, some space, some energy. Be patient with yourself this week. There are some payoffs coming in, particularly at the end of this week. But just, again, just to reiterate, just to really drive home, this is not a passive week for you, but this is a week to really be still and contemplate as you move forward. Let's see what else we have for you. That is the most active way you can bring in what it is that you want, be in alignment with yourself here and honoring the work that you've done on yourself too, with creating those boundaries, knowing who you are. But again, this is not in any way, as this beautiful card here has, no more procrastinating. we want to be clear, this is not a passive week. Your power comes from making a decision. Absolutely. Your decision is to be within you. Your decision is to hone in and put your energy first. Your decision is to honor and accept every part of yourself. And the confusion that arises from over-analyzing the options, you've already decided you're not going to do that. This is the leveling card that really sort of pushes you forward and gives you the outlay of what to expect this week. But look at this beautiful fairy with this rainbow coming in. You know, there's no more procrastinating, you know that. But, you know, because you've been doing all this work on yourself, there is this like impetus to sort of move forward and get things going really quickly. All right, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. And that way you have something very much in common with pile one. But this is about you treading carefully, treading lightly, having faith, you know, taking in everything. You're highly sensitive, so you tend to see details and nuances that other people don't see. And sometimes when you put those all together, it can drive you crazy with that energy because you see absolutely everything. But if you tread lightly and you see absolutely everything and allow everything to come in and integrate, and love up on yourself this week, that's when you're going to see all these nuances start meaning something. And they'll turn into this catalyst for other knowledge that you need to move forward. This is a lot of week for a lot of aha moments for you if you stay out in the world, but also are open to them and keep an open mind to them. If you're busying yourself up with this, that, and the other, and I got to get this done, and I mean, obviously we need to get stuff done, but if you're busying yourself up with moving forward and you're missing out on all these nuances, you're missing out on all these aha moments, which you will not do this week. You will not do. You will absolutely be there for the aha moments. And again, we want to remind you that change is on the horizon. Music too. So you have something in common there with pile one. Now that it is very different energy. Your energy is coming in very relaxed, moving forward on your own terms, sort of building up steam, where it's sort of a little bit of the opposite to pile one. But if you feel called to, as we say, to go back and listen to pile one, feel free to do that too. But it's also a reminder to use music, music can alter our moods in a very good way too. But for you, it would be really fun to listen to music that you don't normally listen to. For those of you who don't normally listen to classical, for instance, feeling that sort of, connection to history, getting back into that. Even writing in fairy music on YouTube, unicorn music, and see what comes up. Something that attaches you to the ethereal mode and reminds you that our beautiful life on earth is magical, even though we're having a human existence. Change is absolutely on its way. It's starting for you this week. So you're building this firm platform for change. We've just come out of Mercury retrograde, at least we will on the Tuesday. It's going direct on Tuesday. Again, it does take, 5 to 10 days to, stop coughing and spluttering and really get up to the energy that it was direct. But you will feel that energy, that you will feel that shift, you will feel that change on the Tuesday going into Wednesday. And you will feel as though more opportunities are coming in. So we really want you to sit with yourself this week and notice your energy and learn to trust that. Learn to gauge the world based on your own energy, your own interior mode. If you're responsible for your own energy, you're not projecting out. You have a clearer platform, a clearer energy going out there. You can connect directly to the universe and pull what you want to you instantaneously. So again, alignment, not control. This is something that you'll be actively working on this week. Again, active is the key. You will be doing it. So just have faith, slow down, have that sense of humor ready. You've certainly got it, and have that patience, and you'll see those opportunities coming in at the latter part of this week. But we want you to allow them to come to you instead of you pushing to go get them and then being disappointed at the results because they're not coming in with a huge amount of fireworks and this, that, and the other. So here we go. Sometimes the biggest things come to us in these moments that we're not waiting for them to happen. And all of a sudden your life can change in such a beautiful way. And what we've done is we put everything in alignment. We've put our energy in alignment. We've done all the work and we're expecting this huge payoff. And it comes in this most sort of direct, beautiful, and seemingly underwhelming way, but it really isn't. It's just sort of given to us on a plate. Life can be that easy when you do the interior work. Now, you've done all the interior work. This week is about you getting out there, grinding those beautiful feet into this energy of the earth and grounding yourself into your own life and letting all this energy work for you and create this change that you want, because this is sort of the first week of the rest of your life, one way or another, because of the way that you're working with your energy. So let's see what we have here. Play. Step outside and feel the sun, breathe the air, play, and have some fun. Absolutely. Bringing in the play, keeping things light, listening to music that's lighter, ethereal, otherworldly. Surround yourself with that energetic energy too of the elementals. That was mentioned in Pile 1 too. So this is, different aspects. I sort of see Pile 1 and Pile 2. Your Pile 2, Pile 1, different aspects of the same personality. So it could definitely play in your favor to go ahead and check out Pile 1 if you feel called to. Always listen to your intuition. Let's do one more for you. So keep it light and it will all come to you. Patience, patience, patience. Keep it light, ethereal. Rose quartz crystal, soothing and warm like love that flows. Once under your pillow, your magic grows. So rose quartz coming in too, that's for friendship and self-love too. If you have a rose quartz, you can also, we have the full moon coming in this Thursday. You can cleanse it under the full moon. I've actually, let's see, I've used clear quartz and I've used rose quartz under the pillow too, and my magic grows and also really, really intense dreams. So if you do go ahead and put that rose quartz after it's cleansed under your pillow, be careful as to, not be careful necessarily, but do it for a couple of nights, see how you feel. If your dreams are getting really, really intense, this, that, and the other, you can just meditate with it. For me, it's really, really, really intense when I do that over. I think I did it for a week, and after a week, I had to pull it from under my pillow. So up to a week is totally fine. So that's another way that you can get in touch with the ethereal realm too. But even using a rose quartz as you meditate this week, this is about your relationship with the otherworldly, but also being very, very much in touch with your inner knowledge, very much in touch with who you are on the earthly plane too. So it's coming into balancing the earthly plane and your spiritual sense this week, but also how you put your energy out there. Less is more is your mantra, because you've done so much work to solidify your energy. So we just want you to be out there working in a slightly different way to bring you better and bigger results. But sometimes when we focus on the results, we're just not giving them room to come in. So play, lighten up, enjoy the week. Again, we are going to say one more time, this is not a passive week for you by any stretch of the imagination. This is going to be a fertility week coming in. Change is on the horizon. Everything that you've wanted is coming in. It's just a matter of how you are going to let it in. Enjoy this week. As we said in Pile 1, enjoy the journey, not just getting what it is that you've put out there. Enjoy the journey this week. Enjoy every moment that you're in this week, because every moment's going to be really important for you. It's going to feel that way this week. This is a very powerful way for you to shift your energy and gain what it is that you want and live the life that you want. So enjoy your week, Pile 2. We're going to take a minute to thank our beautiful goddess Áine coming in and helping us channel today. Enjoy your beautiful week. Enjoy every moment of it. Go ahead and use the rose quartz if you have one. Remember to cleanse it before. Again, the full moon cleansing would be wonderful, but there's many different ways to do it. You can use Reiki, leave it out on the moonlight. and whatever you want to do. But meditate, be in your beautiful self, and have a gorgeous week with your soul essence, elementals around you. Skip, play, dance, and expect brilliant things to happen, especially in the latter part of the week. We are sending you so much support exactly where you are, exactly who you are. And until we meet again, Pile 2, you stay safe and sane now. Bye-bye. Lovelies, if you chose Pile 3 and this beautiful moonstone coming into our Cancer energy, then this is your energy update again. We are working and channeling our beautiful Irish goddess Áine, and this is for the week the 21st through to the 27th. So much going on this week, as we said in the intro. Let's get right into your reading. So we have the fairy tarot cards, and then of course we have the Wisdom of Avalon cards. So let's check out your week. We have the Prince of Winter, intellectual, determined, focused, impulsive. Seek out an intellectual solution to your problem. The need to act quickly and decisively. Sudden or unexpected changes here. And you have the Nine of Wands, spring. Protect the fruits of labors. Prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead. Environmental conservation. Okay, and then you have the Swords here. So let's see what we have here. And we've got the Fire Fairy, creative action and optimism. So you've got the Wands energy, the Nine of Wands, and you've got the fire energy. So there's a few different things going on for you this week, Pile 3, all wonderful stuff. So this is a way for you to, and again, we always say this, at least I always do on this channel. You know, when we're doing this, we're working with Áine today, the Irish goddess, of course, but this is also universal energy, collective energies that are going on too. And it's never a surprise that pile 1, 2, and 3 sort of have a thread all the way through them, and definitely see this almost as one pile, more so than other times. I know a lot of you have been getting in touch and saying that, you know, you listen to every single pile, maybe a little out of sequence, not necessarily 1, 2, and 3, but I can see why, especially now. So there's something in the air, obviously, about working with intellectualism versus, you know, your spiritual side, and learning how to trust that. So this is something that you're going to be working with actively this week. So very different energy from pile 1 and pile 2, but definitely working on the same thing. So putting your action into the ethereal, putting your action into the passion of what you do, but also seeking out an intellectual side to your problem. So here's the thing. You're going to be working this way on how your energy is out there, and you're going to be focusing on what gets you the most or the biggest results. So you have this determined energy, and you have this focused energy, and sometimes you tend to over focus. When you over focus, pile 3, there's no more room for the universe can come in and give you those magical kind of moments in our lives that we, you know, for want of a better term, are living for, right? So everything that you've done, you've absolutely done, and you've achieved them on your own terms. There's no two ways about that, pile 3, but it's taken a lot to achieve them. You put a lot on your line one way or another. It feels like a lot to have achieved them. What we want for you this week is to ease into your life and get that ease, that breezy ease back into your life. Keep seeing you in a convertible, sort of, you know, hood down or whatever, everything down, and just driving up, you know, around the coast, and just enjoying yourself and letting that breeze come and going for a really, really lovely drive. So it's about getting that breeze back into your life, and working with the energies of passion, because you have a lot of passion, you have a lot of focus, and working with that energy so it comes in and it accumulates in such a way so when you let it out into the world, it brings back what it is that you want. So it's also, there's an energy for you too that comes in where You've worked so hard for things that when you get them or you're about to get them, you tend to clamp up a little bit and protect them because you've worked so hard for them. And that energy can stop you sort of achieving exactly what you want. It narrows in the energy. What you do is you narrow in because you've worked so hard, and you figure that if you're narrowing in on something and moving forward on it, then you're going to achieve it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that kind of focus at all, but it's sometimes what you do is you narrow in and you over focus so much that you don't allow in the magic, as we said. So this week is for you to take those dichotomies and put them together. Put that passion and put that absolutely edge, that narrow edge focus that you have. That's absolutely brilliant. And that practicality, which is gorgeous. I mean, you can go in and look at everything that needs to be done. This needs to be done, X, Y, and Z, and sort everything out. In fact, you might be the sort of person that people come to and say, what needs to be done? You'll see things from everything points of view, and you'll come up with a really great conclusion of how people should move forward. But you don't necessarily do that for yourself, which is completely human. That's the way it does. So for you, it's taking these two beautiful aspects of your personality. Now, you depended so much on this sort of intellectual, determined focus part of yourself, which has led to impulsivity sometimes because there's an energy of you that wants to crack out of that. So in order to sort of diffuse that energy a little bit, you do something impulsive, which you've really loved. And that works to sort of break up that energy of that intense intellectual determination stuff. Now, we want to be really clear. You're determined. You're going to get what you want anyway. No one's asking you to give anything up. As a person who is determined, if they looked up determined in, I was going to say the Bible, but let's not go there. If they looked up determined in the dictionary, your face would pop out. You're definitely determined. That's always going to, when you set your sights on something, if you decide you're going to go in a different way, that's up to you. But if you set your sights on something, you're going to get it. So that's going to be your plateau no matter what. You're never going to get rid of that. It's always going to happen. It's a matter of using that intellectualism, using that determination, and melding it with other softer parts to get what you want with a lot more ease. And for this, you have very much incorporated, very much in line with pile 2, although different energies. So you've got this energy and you're working with it. And then that's the other thing that you do, as we said before, but to reiterate just a little bit, when you're on the verge of getting something, or you do get something, you want to protect it. You think it might be taken away because you've worked so hard to get it. That's the thing. The universe doesn't take away. It's just that, it's when we think that we're achieving this on our own and we've done so much work, we tend to highlight that aspect of it. And what we want you to do is highlight the aspect of co-creation with the universe. When we co-create with the universe, we know instinctively that we're building sort of a castle in the sky. We're building this beautiful, magical life. Nothing's going to be taken away one way or another. Now things will shift and things will change, and things that no longer work for us anymore, will be released and other things will come in. That's best for us. Nothing's static. Everything's changing. Everything's moving constantly. We're energy. So we're constantly changing. Everything around us is energy. Everything is changing. Nothing gets stagnant, but nothing will be taken away per se. And if you think it is, it's just a matter of how you're seeing it. Look at why it's been taken away. Did you really need it? Things will be released when you no longer need them. Crutches that we've needed in the past will be released. We won't need them anymore. So we don't need to go looking for them. This is a very powerful week coming into the summer solstice. After the summer solstice, you come into this new energy of melding the two, of lightening up, of taking that intense passion that you have that sometimes sort of bowls you over and really catalyzing it in a way. Now you're extremely sensitive, but sometimes you hide that pile 3 to be able to, you can be a little hard-nosed sometimes to get out there and do what needs to be done. This is a way to bring in your sensitivities this week. See them as a superpower, integrate them into your life, and meld it in with this beautiful determination and intellectuality that you have to move forward, to produce these new kind of results coming in, and find a real catalyst for your beautiful passion that you have that has so much sometimes that it bowls you over and you have so much energy. Sometimes you can feel yourself tingling, especially in hands and feet. You have an extremely amount of energy. When that happens, you can go out and earth, put your feet in the earth, take a bath, whatever you need to do. But you tend to build up all of this energy and this passion. And sometimes it's not able to get out or able to integrate into the world the way that you want to, because you're using this very sort of practical measure of gaining what you want. And again, when it's starting to come true, or you're starting to build momentum, you tend to really over focus on that and not allow the magic in so much. So we want you to allow the magic in this week and to work with the sort of the practical and the ethereal, grounded very much in your own 2 feet, because you have that practical earthy edge to you. Not all of you may be completely grounded, so that's something that you can really ground into this week, your energy, your first chakra, but you're very earthy in that way. So even with a lot of the spiritual content, which I totally understand, by the way, even with a lot of the spiritual stuff, this, that, and the other, unless you prove it to yourself, you don't necessarily take it as a given. There's nothing woo-woo about you, and that is wonderful. But there's not to say, we want a little woo-woo for you this week, though. We want you to enlighten up in this way and bring in a little woo-woo, even things that you might think are a little woo-woo. We want you to come in and sort of entertain them. Again, entertain the concepts. We want to remind you that you have this determined, very practical sense of self. So you're never going to go too far down the road where everything's really woo-woo and you're like, oh my goodness. One thing that you do not like, Pile 3, is to waste time. So you don't like wasting time. Anything that you consider a waste of time, you're not going to do. So we're not going to ask you to waste your time and go really down all these woo-woo sort of passages or woo-woo paths this week. But take on a few things that are a little woo-woo. Enjoy the sort of elemental, the unicorn kind of things. Even taking it to the next level where you're like, nah, on an ethereal level, I can accept that, on certain levels that they exist and they're there. But take it to the next step if you want. If you feel called to, always listen to your intuition. Do a meditation with the unicorns. I actually have a meditation on the playlist here for meeting your unicorn. Go out of your way to do that stuff this week, because it'll make room for that magic coming in, and it'll make room for that energy coming in. You've clamped out on that energy in the last couple of weeks trying to move forward and getting that done. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, of course, and that's part of what you've needed to do. But in order to move forward, we want you to sort of be a little bit more loosey-goosey this week. Enjoy the week. Enlighten up. Again, as we said in Pile 2, and we want to make it clear for you in Pile 3, this is not a passive week. This is a way for you to combine and integrate all aspects of self coming in. And as Mercury goes direct on Tuesday, again, it does take, up to a week for it to get back up to the speed it was. But there's going to be an energy increase, and you're going to feel those opportunities coming in. You're going to want to really go at them. And what we want you to do is to use your passion as a catalyst and allow that energy to come to you a little bit more. So let's see what happens here. New romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra, gorgeousness. And then hold your vision, a fixed moon. Yeah, we want you to be really clear about what you want. And accept that new things are coming in. But we want you to see where the energy is going before you sort of go gun-ho down one route and try to bring it into your life. We want you to co-create with the universe this week. Hold your vision about what you want. And again, get a little airy-fairy this week. Get a little out there. Get a little woo-woo. You don't have to go down the path. No one's asking you to shave your head and go off and live in a mountain. Don't do that. Unless you really want to and you feel called to, in which case, go you. But yeah, pull yourself back from anything from the extremes this week. You've worked in the extremes before. We want you to hold your vision without going in the extremes. Just allow everything to take place. We also, for those of you who are unattached, There is new energy, new love energy coming in. Now, we want you to be open to this new love energy, even if you think you are. If you're too busy trying to manage everything, then you might not be as open to that energy as you think you are. So we want you open to all avenues this week. Keep your energy open. Get really in touch with, I know the summer solstice is all about the sun, but get in touch with moon energy too, with the moonstone. Get in touch with very much aspects of yourself. Again, keep everything open, but hold the vision for what you want. Now, you're a planner. A lot of you are planners. You know what you want. You even know how to get it. Resist the urge to, make those lists and go down that route this week. We want you to see how things can work out. Now, when we come into this new moon coming in on the 24th, which is a supermoon. It's got a little bit of an eclipse thing going on too. We've got the Capricorn energy coming in this full moon. It's a very powerful strawberry moon coming in. This is where you're going to see where your power lies when you have this beautiful essence of the ethereal you and the very practical you coming in and blending in this 50-50 sense, this sort of, for want of a better term, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, allowing both of those energies to come in and to combine in this beautiful way this week. And then you will see how to move forward, and you'll be able to move forward, as we said in Pile 2, a little less effort necessarily, but still bringing in the opportunities that you want. We want to remind you this is not a passive week. This is about you really using your alchemy to take that passion and really start interchanging it, moving it around, see how it can work for you, not in just one focused way, but putting it out in every way possible and see what comes back. Let's see what happens here. We've got some extra energy. Yeah, and for those of you who are unattached, as we said before, let's come back to this thought. Try on that romantic energy, watch some romantic movies, get romantic this week, light those candles, have that energy of romance in and around you to bring in that energy a lot quicker. For those of you who are already attached or on the verge, just started dating someone, this could be an indication if your intuition tells you also that this person could be, kind of interesting to keep around, and also have that sort of spend some time with that significant other too. Have that romantic notion coming in, have that lightness, that brightness, that beautiful kind of passion and beauty coming in this week. Give yourself some extra room for it. Magic will come out of that. It'll be a catalyst for you this week. So let's see what we have. Surrender, absolutely, and follow your dreams. So now this, for some of you, you might be like, well, how can I surrender and follow my dreams? That's an oxymoron. I'm in, I'm out, see you later, Unicorn Light Tarot. I get that, I totally get that, but we promise you, you can hold your vision, you can follow your dreams, and you can surrender to this divine and expect brilliant results. And you putting that into practical fashion this week is all about this upcoming week for you. Again, not a passive week whatsoever. So this is about remembering that less is more for you. You've done so much of this work already. We want you to enjoy the journey. We've said this in Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. And this is something you have in common, particularly with Pile 2, I think, but pretty much with both piles and with everybody else here on the on the human race here living this this beautiful existence, this human existence. We tend to really look forward to the payoffs. And when the payoffs start coming in and we can feel them, we tend to get really, really excited when the payoffs come in. And then we're really excited. And then we're moving towards the next payoff. What we want you to really enjoy this week is getting there. We want you to enjoy the journey. It's not just about the payoffs. Now, the payoffs are sweet. There's no two ways about that. We're not suggesting not to enjoy the payoffs. But it's not about getting from payoff to payoff to payoff. This is about every small moment counting, moving forward, really being responsible for your own energy, really seeing how your energy works in the larger stratosphere out there, and seeing how much power your energy have. And again, working with this oxymoron for you, holding your vision, following your dreams by surrendering, and yes, still expecting these beautiful payoffs, particularly at the end of the week, coming in, but also seeing how your beautiful energy works with this passion, how you alchemize it without having to stay on top of it the way that you do. It's almost like if I don't do it, it won't get done. Now, in the past, that was absolutely true. So you got used to this real ultra independence, getting everything done on your own terms. But now the universe wants to co-create with you. And you know, in the past, when you've co-created with the universe, now sometimes they've been in desperate moments where I can't do this anymore, I don't know what I'm doing, but the universe has always stepped up. So in those moments, you know it can happen. We don't want you to get to the point where you're out of luck, you're out of love, you're out of everything, you're singing that blues song and you're like, I got nothing left now, help me. We want you to do this on your own terms this week to be able to see and gauge how much magic you have. Because this is the week where you can put everything, all the passion, all the work that you've done before, you can be able to see this payoff by having your energy work slightly differently, but in tandem with the ethereal, not versus as it's been before, the practical versus the ethereal. One steps in, the other steps in, but this co-creation of moving forward. Again, not a passive week for you. A very exciting week for you to put your energy out there and still receive the same results, if actually better results than you've received before, by seemingly doing a lot less. It seems counterproductive in a way, but it isn't. And you are going to get witness to it front and center this week. So enlighten up, have some fun, keep up with that woo-woo stuff a little bit, but not too woo-woo. You don't have to go, don't go nuts, but just really enjoy. What do we have here? Lead the way. Take the reins today. Others will follow if you lead the way. Absolutely. And leading in your own way with your energy intact, doing what it is that you want to do with your energy moving forward. And again, this is a leading way for you to do this. There's an immense amount of power in coming in for you this week when you're working and aligning your energies with the universe. This is not passive at all. This is very, very powerful stuff. And because you want to be brilliant at everything that you do, once you master this, and you will master it, this is just the beginning of this week, putting it into full practice. You've been working with it. You will be leading the way and leading others how to do this, because you're here to be a leader. So let's see what else we have for you here. Rain, rain, rain comes today. Let all your troubles wash away. That goes with the surrender too. Remember, not working with the past energies too. If it starts to come in, you start with that control versus alignment, and you start to over focus, go off, get into that ethereal mode. We want you to enlighten up this week. We want you to play in the rain, play in nature. Remember, you're not just playing in nature, you are also nature. It's just your natural playground. Take that passion, utilize that passion. A lot of you have some really intense gifts. Some of those gifts will be coming in for you this week, so allow in some room and some time and some energy for those gifts to manifest in a slightly new way for you. Really sort of pushing the edge on that. Some of you are clairvoyant, etc. You've got a lot of different things going on, but that world is moving in for you again, working with that moon energy too, working with these gifts that are coming in. So if you give yourself some space, those gifts, you'll have some time to work with those gifts coming in. This is a very exciting week for you to really work on yourself and really work on your energy, but to gauge your magic and to see how powerful it is. Once you really understand that, it will become a very practical measure for you once you get to see how much magic you can utilize into the world, and how much it's fed off into the universe and pulled back into you. You will see that as a very practical alliance, and you'll be able to integrate that fully. There'll be no going back for you. There'll be no going back after that for you once you see that as a practical trait. So this is your time to get out there and do that. Again, enjoy the journey this week. The payoffs are coming. particularly at the end of the week. There, you're getting set up for that, but allowing all this other energy coming in. Work with your gifts this week. They are really opening up for you. For those of you who are already resonating with this, they already would have started coming in for you in a new way, in a more heightened level. So this should not be a surprise for you at all. So just allow in that time, and please enjoy every single beautiful moment, and really hone in on this power this week. Really test that power with the universe. Really see how powerful you are and your magic is this week. And once you align with that power, it won't be able to stop you anymore. You'll be able to see how you can use it in the future without over focusing. And this means healing. This means helping people in the world. This is in all facets of your life, and using your passion to move forward in this kinetic energy instead of using it against yourself. So this is what we have for you, Pile 3. We're going to take a moment to thank our beautiful goddess Áine today for helping us channel, for being there for us. And again, if you feel as though you want to go back and check out Pile 1 or Pile 2, that's always open to you. Always listen to your own intuition with absolutely everything. Your own intuition will tell you what you need. And again, if you want to hang out with the unicorns, do a little chakra moving or healing, or just go meet your well, that too, meet your unicorn. In the playlist there is meeting your unicorn, and then working through chakra meditations and healings. Some of them are healings and activations, so if you feel called to, that's a little extra vuvum, a little extra support you can get on this channel. So we're going to send you love and support for exactly where you are right now. Please enjoy your beautiful week. You stay safe and sane, and until we meet again, you take care, Pal 3. Bye-bye.